What's up guys, in this video I'm going to show you how you survive the new hunts in Phasmophobia. I'm not only going to show you in detail of what has changed in the latest patch, I'm also going to give you valuable tips and tricks on how you can actually survive hunts. First I'm going to go over what has changed in the latest patch, then I'm also going to show you a test we have done with the speeds of the ghosts and if you can outrun them. After that I'm going to show you what ghosts still can't do, and I'm going to give you a lot of tips and tricks of what you can do during hunts. So without further ado, let's have a look at what has changed in that big August patch in Phasmophobia. Number 1, the sounds of the ghosts have been completely revamped during the hunts. While all the ghosts were only gurgling in the previous patch, they are now growling and humming depending on the ghost model. Here are some samples of what that sounds like. Number 2, ghosts will now accelerate faster when they have line of sight of you. You will see what this looks like in the speed test later in this video. Number 3, the player's walking speed is now the previous running speed of 1.6 meters per second. Number 4, the player can run now for 3 seconds with a 5 seconds recovery. While the walking speed is as mentioned 1.6 meters per second, the running speed is exactly double that, so 3.2 meters per second. So you can run exactly 9.6 meters until you are exhausted. Number 5, the ghost's grace period at the start of a hunt has been reduced from 5 seconds to 4 seconds. This has been done because you have a running function now and it's easier to get away at the start of a hunt. Number 6, the ghosts are invisible during that grace period and they will stay in place, but they will make their hunting noise so you can locate them. Number 7, and this is a big one, the lights will now only flash if the ghosts are near. But how near is near? I've made some tests and the lights will start flashing exactly when the ghost is 10 meters away. So it's pretty much exactly the distance that you can run with the new running function. To give you an idea of what 10 meters look like, here is what it looks like on Tanglewood. It is pretty much the distance from the garage door to that glow stick that is lying there. The building lights will also only flash when the ghost is near. Besides that, all your electronic equipment will also flash when you are near. And the distance is the same as with a flashlight. This new system makes it much harder to actually figure out if a hunt is going on or not. So the usual trick with the global comms to check if a hunt is going on is pretty valuable now. If you hear a static noise on the global comms, you know a hunt is going on. You can also check the light switches. If you cannot move them up or down, you know a hunt is going on as well. Number 8, and this is the other big change, ghosts can now sense all of your electronics like they can hear your voice. We've made some tests with the hearing range and the range where it can sense the electronics. And the good news is it's actually lower when the lights are starting to flicker. Both the hearing range and the sensing range of electronics is 8 meters. Considering the default running speed of 1.5 meters per second, you have a little bit over a second to turn off all your electronics or be silent when your lights start flickering. There's only one exception to this, and that is the yokai. The yokai can only hear you at a distance less than 2 meters, and it can also only sense your electronics at less than 2 meters. Keep in mind, the ghosts can only locate you if you have your electronics in your hand and they are turned on. So you cannot just distract the ghost by throwing it on the floor. The ghost will always go to the last location where you had the item in your hand and it was activated. And this goes for all electronic item, including your flashlight. It cannot track your head cam though, so you're fine on that front. All sensors, including the dots projector, can also not be tracked because they are always off if you are having them in your hand. Please bear in mind that you cannot turn off your photo camera or video camera. So switch to another item or throw them on the floor. Let's have a look what the new ghost speeds look like. The main question we are trying to answer here, if you can outrun the ghosts now. So we fired up the high school and tried to get away in plain line of sight as soon as the light starts flickering. And here is the result of that.
I'm running.
Coming to grab your kidneys.
Yeah, that's why we are doing this test, right? So it's actually kinda... I mean, you will never run away like this.
Yeah.
Normally, you will go downstairs, like, break line of sight again. So this is pretty... This is just looking at the extreme case. Oh, now it's fast. And it stopped hunting, so... I mean, your chance to get away is pretty high, I would say. There we go. Run, 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 run! My flashlight started to flicker. Now I mean out of range. I'm just running away like a normal pleb. So as you can see, even though we ran down the hallway, the ghost had a hard time to catch up with us. And this is mainly because the ghosts are speeding up the longer you stay in line of sight. So if you break line of sight 2 or 3 times while running away, you should be fine. And usually, especially on these big maps, running away is the better option than hiding. Except of course you have one of the faster ghosts like the Revenant. If you run away on a smaller map, try to be crouched because furniture or even the kitchen counter are breaking line of sight. And the more you break line of sight, the less chance the ghost has to speed up. Let's have a quick look at what the ghosts still can't do. Number 1, the ghosts are not able to see your flashlight beam. The only thing the ghosts can really sense is the distance to your flashlight in your hand when it's activated. Number 2, the ghosts can't hear your walking or running footsteps. Number 3, the ghosts cannot hear the global comms when you are using them. And remember, in multiplayer, the ghosts can only hear you when you're pressing push to talk if you have that on. In single player, the ghosts can always hear you. And number 4, the ghosts can't hear any electronics in the house, so you cannot turn on radios to distract the ghosts. And finally, here are some tips and tricks on how you can survive hunts. Number 1, make use of glow sticks and candles. Your lights are starting to flicker pretty badly once you get closer to the ghost. So it's much harder to see where you're going or even see the ghost. And while you're trying to run away, the ghost will always be able to track you because you have your flashlight on. So switch to a candle or even better a glow stick and light your way to the next locker or closet. Remember, glow sticks will now glow for 60 seconds at 100% and then they will go to 50% forever. And the candles will go out after 2 to 5 minutes. Number 2, as mentioned before, throw away your photo camera or video camera. Sometimes in a panic situation you will forget that you cannot turn off your cams. So my usual solution is that I just throw them away. Number 3, have smudge sticks and lighters ready at your hiding spot. If you accidentally turn on your flashlight in a locker or closet, you can still get away with that smudge stick. Make sure that you immediately leave that locker or closet and go to another one once you use it. The smudge stick will make ghosts wander for 5 seconds once you use them. And don't be scared to run through the ghost cannot get you during those 5 seconds. Number 4, take the EMF reader, turn it on and drop it in sections where you want to check for the location of the ghost. Every time the ghost comes within 10 meters of the EMF reader, it will go off and make loud noises. And that way you can easily locate the ghost. Number 5, break line of sight before you go into a locker or closet. Have the door of a locker or closet only halfway open so you can squeeze through and break line of sight before you go into the locker. That way the ghost can only set the waypoint right before the locker but not in the locker. If you have a double locker, you could also use the door of the other locker to block line of sight. And number 6, grab a head cam for every game even if you are solo. If you have the night vision on the CCTV, you will have a little base light on your head cam. The ghosts will not be able to track that and you have a light once you need to turn off your flashlight to navigate around. And the final number 7, doors are your best friends. You can hide behind a lot of doors that are blocking most of the room. The ghost's pathing usually hinders them to get line of sight of you. I'm gonna link a video in the top right corner where I've tested a few of them. Thank you guys for watching and happy hunting! Oh, all these patrons! Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Mwah. Big schmouts. Mwah.